That's all right.
Technical difficulty, we can battle through it.
That's all right, man.
Rumble, young man, rumble.
We gonna pod through it.
Potter's Pod.
Cause this says episode 50.
Yeah.
50.
Doggone it.
5-0.
We made it to 50, man. Family Room Podcast, episode 50. I'm Mike Roan.
I wanna be like Mike.
Stefan Room.
I'm Stefan, sweet thing.
Jesse Williams.
Jesse, step away from the box.
Like I said, man, it's episode 50. We made it to 50, man. We started off doing it in San Diego, bouncing back and forth from North Park to Escondido and back and forth, alternating podcasts. And we do a handful at his house and do a handful at my house. Then we started having guests. Then we got a mixer. Then the audio got better. Then we added more cameras. We added lights. And we full on doing the podcast now, man. We full on podcasters at episode 50 now.
Full ass podcaster.
I'm happy to say I'm a podcaster, man.
Facts.
2 laptops. And, I mean, Mike working it,
You know
though.
what I'm saying? We doing it.
got
We doing
juice.
it. We doing it, man. Episode 50, man. Before I forget, I said like 2 episodes ago we was go explain Jesse's drop. And I haven't done it. And so we gonna make sure we do it right now. You wanna explain it or you want me to do it?
You can. Go ahead.
Now go ahead explain it. Go ahead
I'll
explain it.
explain it. So, this was back in, 2005? Because I had to be our junior year, right? Or senior year, 2005, 2006, whatever. Commercial comes out for Verizon. You know, they all sitting around in a little meeting having their, how they can up their brand or whatever. So, the dude's one of the people in there. He's like, Jesse? And now, I'm in a whole nother room when the commercial's playing. I'm at the table minding my business. I don't know what I was doing.
He's at home and this commercial comes on.
Yeah, I'm at
his
the
house.
pad. No, I was with y'all. I was at your spot.
I thought okay.
So I'm sitting at the table on
Okay.
Sandalwood, and y'all's in the living room.
Okay.
And niggas had just been talking from the living room to
That's
me.
right. That's right. That's right.
So I thought niggas was still talking. All of a sudden, it's Jesse, and I'm like, what? Like, what's up?
That's right. That's right.
Then all of a sudden, 2 seconds later, step away from the box, and I was like, oh, y'all niggas from the box. Instantly
That just happened like that.
I knew the commercial because you know what I mean. People say your name in songs, commercials. You gonna remember that shit. But at that time, I didn't remember, and I had seen the commercial before.
So that's why the drop makes sense, and that's because people probably be like, "Wait, he said he's gonna explain that, but what is that?" Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But there's an explanation behind all that.
And it's dope because we call it the Family Room Podcast, and all of our drops come from something like on TV that you would like be watching in the family room. You know what I'm saying? Mine is from Bad Boys. Steph's is from Family Matters, and then Triz is from the commercial he just explained. So I mean, I love it, man. I love the way all the drops worked out, man. Like I said, I had to. So people know. I don't know if people understand, but Jesse is officially a co-host on the Family Room Podcast. Yeah. I was podcasting with Jesse and not Jesse, but Dor and Gio, and he was like, man, you guys been having Jesse on a lot lately, huh? I was like, well, no, he's on the podcast now. So I was like, I don't know if people understand that, but Jesse is a part of the Family Room Podcast now.
Yes,
Believe that.
Not like Gilly though. So just for those who stay watching, I ain't gonna try to hit y'all to no 15% later. Episode 50, holla.
Look, man, if the checks start coming, look, we gotta bust it down right.
I need 50.
It ain't gonna be it ain't gonna be no argument over that. They're like, bro, it's gonna be a discussion. Business, Gilly. Business, Gilly.
Business,
so
man.
let's move on.
So how y'all been doing, man? I seen the North County boys hit the gun range yesterday.
I knew. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, these motherfuckers gonna call us the North County boys because we was out here.
The North County boys hit the gun range last night.
We talked about it. We talked about it after we got done potting last week because I want to buy a gun. Jesse's been a gun owner for years now, but I want to buy my first gun. So after the pod last week, I was like, let's Wednesday, let's go shoot. I wanted to rent something. He just bought a new gun. He wanted to let it go. And I wanted to see like what I can handle and what I should be buying for my first one. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, it's just my belief that every minority person out here, we need to get armed, yo. It's getting milly out here. They're running in our houses, shooting us. We have to do what we have to do at this point. But I need to educate myself. So Jesse helped me with my education. I don't feel like I did bad yesterday neither.
Not at all. For his first time, stance was good. The first time out the gate. I mean, at the same time, we're athletes, so I broke it down and then get in your defensive
athletically,
stance.
and that helped.
You know what I mean?
Helped.
Because then you're gonna know how to set your feet. And somebody else was came in there was training also, and I showed Steph the difference. This lady was standing there with her feet together. She ain't hitting the target. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. She over here, and this dude who's training her is a big burly nigga who don't have to have his feet like that because he's not.
He good.
He's absorbing the impact.
He could
but
let
you
that
training
go one hand.
Yeah, you training a 50-year-old lady, fam. Standing with her feet close together. She's somebody coming there. She got to pull that thing. She about to break her nose.
She looked crazy when you first pointed that out to me. I was like, yo,
feet straight together, like, nah, that's not cool. Technique and training fundamentals is everything.
Yeah. Shit, I was thinking last night though. I was like, man, I might want to start with a 40 because your shit is
smooth
butter.
Smooth, but
it was easier to shoot than the 9 I had.
Yeah, but also like I said, the money you spend is gonna get you the nice. You know what I mean? I spent the nice.
Yeah, these are a piece of chains on the thing.
Yeah, it was about that time.
So other than that, man, other than the gun range, what y'all been up to, man?
Same old for me.
Yeah, same old work week. Well, no, I can't say that. Between last pod and this pod, I celebrated my 2-year wedding anniversary. So I did that. Me and wifey went out to dinner. Now, they had a socially distanced.
I think we talked about that last pod.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my anniversary was last weekend, so I did. So we did talk about the week prior walk coming to.
Yeah.
Shit. Besides that. Shit, the gun range was the highlight of my week.
You was telling me how you said wifey wanna tighten the reins a little bit.
Oh,
I got a little loose with the COVID rules. She wanna tighten it back up.
With everything opening back up, we felt like we've been going to restaurants and like all of that. You know what I mean? It's like, and like with the spike and everything. At first, we're like, a spike is normal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going back outside. Spike is normal. When it said like, hold on, it kept rising. It was like, all right, maybe we need to pull the reins back. Like. We did it in stages, even ourselves. After they told us we can go outside, we're like, we're only gonna go see family. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna be out in stores. We're still gonna shop the same. We're not gonna go to restaurants. And then since everything been opening up, we've been loosely going back to that. Like, I almost went. Like, my gym opened up last week. And I was like, fuck, I'm trying to get back in the gym. And I was like, let me wait a week. You know what I mean? But the spike and everything, she want to sew it back up. Like, let's just only do family. If just keep on spiking, then we go to lock it all the way back down. But
I feel it.
That's reality, I think, for everybody right now. Like, COVID is still out here, and it plays a serious factor in what you how you can move daily. Your coming and going has changed. Mine has. My coming and going has changed a lot.
I think everybody's. Yeah.
Not everybody. Some people act like this shit ain't real. But,
yeah.
When I went and protested at the beach, bro, I couldn't believe how many people was on that beach, and they was laying out on the beach. We was in like I said, La Jolla. You ain't gonna tell them people out there what to do. They gonna do what they want to do. They feel like they got the money to do what they want to do. But that beach was packed. Like, there wasn't nowhere to walk on that sand, dog. That's why I was like, whoa, this is COVID season out here, bro.
You gonna get tested since you was there?
I have not.
So I know this dude who
I need to do the drive-through test.
Shit. So let me tell the story. So I know a dude who was about to get a no-call, no-show from work, so used the COVID as an excuse. Family, I'm not taking that L. So you ain't got the COVID nor no symptoms, but you, instead of being responsible, you said I'm gonna take the COVID and then have to go shove that shit up your nose to your brain and missing work for 6 days. Fam. Enough them telling me I gotta stick that.
His job might be like one no call, no show, you get a mark. Next infraction, you gone.
I'm feeling it.
He said, I gotta do what I gotta do to keep my job.
I feel it. The risk of them having to stick that shit up my nose is not worth it to me.
I feel it.
Then it wasn't worth it to you. You would have got your ass up for work.
That's the fact. That's a fact. If you knew that was like in your back pocket, you was gonna use the COVID no matter what, and you decided to use it, or you didn't get up on time. You bugging, fam.
Yeah,
bugging, fam. Oh, speaking of on time, so I'm at work and I work the night shift. I work 10 to 6, dog. I work 10 to 6, the real graveyard. So there's a girl that relieves me, and she's been late every single day except one. She got there right at 6, and she was like, oh my gosh, I made it on time today. And she was like, I just feel so tired when I'm here this early.
What?
So I asked her, because she's been one time she was an hour and a half late.
Oh wow. Hell no.
Another time she was 40 minutes late. So I asked her, I said, yo, are you telling me that when you're late it's because it's too early for you? And she's like, that's not what I'm saying. I was like, that's what you just said.
That's what you just said.
I was like,
Excuse
every
me.
single time you're a minute late, understand that I'm not waiting 15 minutes before I call dispatch and tell them that you're not here.
For sure.
Because they give them a little 5-minute window, and I'll just be trying to be a good coworker, you know what I mean? Just keep it cool with everybody. I give them 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. I'm on the clock an extra 15. It's overtime, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put my 8 in. You know what I mean? But, you doing it like that? Oh, no. She's like, that's not what I'm saying. I have, like, sometimes I come from another job. Get out of here. What, you work a graveyard somewhere else? Stop that.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. So you do a double every day?
Yeah, you didn't go home and
You
go
do a
to sleep.
double every day? Get out of here. Get out of here, man. So,
What's up with you, Mike, though? How was your
how
week?
you doing? Because I could go on.
How was your week, fam?
Oh, it was chill. It was chill. Celebrated my 4th Father's Day. First Father's Day with 2 kids. It was cool. Just chilled at the crib.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers, man.
Appreciate it. Just hung out at the crib with the kids. Mom made dinner for me and Pop. He came over, you know, yeah. But it was chill, man. Secured my first day for my radio show, so that's gonna be this Saturday.
Nice.
Secured that, grabbing like little art pieces that's gonna be a part of my set. Speaking of Father's Day, we had our first fatherhood podcast. It's called a Dad Pod, like a dad bod, a Dad Pod. It's gonna be every Tuesday on Spotify and then every Wednesday on YouTube.
Nice.
Okay.
So yeah, man, did that.
Yeah, that's you.
Me, Dor, and Gio. My man Dor Tut, and Gio Ruiz. Yeah.
That's gonna be fun, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun.
That first episode
Dor-
was a lot of fun.
Dor and Gio's cool, them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Gio always been cool.
Mhm.
But
So yeah, man. That's what my week looked like, man. Just been doing a lot of editing, man. That's what I'm saying. Like with all of this, like I guess I didn't really take that part into account. Like with all like me myself being on 2 podcasts that come out audio and video, and then trying to have a radio show that also comes out audio and video, and me doing the editing for all 3 shows. I just knew I wanted to do it. I didn't think about like how much time I was going to spend in front of the laptop. I'm up for it though. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real interesting when high school season starts back up. Like KUSI is only Friday night, so that's going to be chill. Like Friday and like late into Friday night, like into like Saturday morning. But like basketball season,
football's more regimented. Everybody play on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
Basketball, that motherfucker play every day, all day. Like
basketball season is gonna be interesting.
Fridays and Saturdays for basketball. Preseason tournament time.
Preseason's over.
This podcast, I didn't even think about that till I'm just now thinking about all this out loud right now. This podcast will be fine if we keep the time at this time, like Thursday during the day. But like the other one, we plan to shoot or we plan to record Monday evenings. So
that's gonna be hard once basketball get back started.
Yeah, that's gonna be real hard. We're gonna have to move that to weekends. I just thought about that.
Yeah,
I'll do my radio show on the weekend. So yeah, it's gonna be real interesting. But I'm gonna figure it out.
You booked and busy is what you're saying. You booked and busy.
Yeah, man. We gonna get Jesse podcast going pretty soon. That's gonna have me even more busy. But I'm up for it, man.
I mean, ultimately, you're doing what you love to do. Right?
Exactly.
Passion.
Exactly, and it was my plan to. I wanted to have new content coming out almost every day. You know what I'm saying? And I'm almost to that point. Like with the way I chop up all like the Instagram videos for the podcast, like that's a way to make content every day. But I was thinking like from different platforms. So now like I got 2 podcasts and a radio show. Like I'm on my way to, you know what I'm saying? And then like I said, once football come back, then my football content will be out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm almost there, man.
For you,
okay.
I was talking about this with wifey because you do either on-camera talent or you're managing pretty much all of these podcasts and different platforms. You should just create a network and then all of it come out on there, and like the separate ones that'll go to their content, but all of it's under the Michael Flicks network.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
But I'm saying like you could set up on like your YouTube like that, where it's not just Flicks or just for it's the network, and it'll be like a station. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like I kind of see like that's kind of like what Joe Budden's doing. He got a whole bunch of shit, but it's under the Joe Budden. You know,
that's the plan. And I was actually telling Jesse about that. If you go to my YouTube, and I hope everybody does, I'm up to like 34 subscribers now, which is pretty dope. If if you go, like, you'll see, like, there's different playlists. Like, one's Family Room Podcast, one's Link Up with Michael Flicks, one, you know what I'm saying? I do got different playlists, but I just need to,
But I
you know what I'm
mean,
saying? The
like-
only one that really gets updated is the Family Room Podcast one.
But what I was saying to wifey, like, I was saying, like, how you have your YouTube page, having an Instagram page like that. Because I think people, like, YouTube people go to watch stuff and they comment and then they're off. People live on their Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now, like, how like, you, like, push your content. Now, if it's, now, everything you create, you can send it all to this one place and everybody can follow your network.
So you saying don't even put content on Instagram is what you're saying?
No. I'm saying make an Instagram page for the Michael Flitz network. So people could, like, because people see all these different platforms, right? Mm-hmm. And they say, oh, that's dope, or I like this, or I like that. Whether they like one or they don't like another, or whatever, but they're seeing it. Mm-hmm. Right now, putting it all on one place and saying, okay, this is this dude's network. He's actually in charge of all of this. It kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's like a branding thing.
That's a good idea.
Branding thing.
That's a really, really good idea.
Yeah.
I'll be able to really customize the Instagram with the highlights and everything. That'll make everything real dope.
And then it'll
That's
be
really
a bunch of different content. It won't be like they like the Family Room, but they don't watch like the sports shit. They don't give a fuck about that. But they know this is the same dude who's creating all this. Like, okay, he out here.
Speaking of that, the girl that made the matter of fact, let me pull up her Instagram right now. The girl that made the piece of content that was like mad different from anything we ever put out on the Family Room page.
Yeah.
The girl that made that,
The cartoon.
she said she made us a link tree, bro. So now, like, when you go to hit the link in our bio, like, everything's just right there like that.
Oh, that's dope.
That's good.
Yeah. So whatever app you got on your phone, you just click it. If you want to watch the video, boom, it's just right there.
What is that on?
Linktree.com.
No, and that's on the
It's
Instagram.
in our bio, and you just hit the link.
He said, "There we go."
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of, bro, I was thinking, and y'all know me. This is you pulling up your phone and then touching it a couple times made me think of this. I don't know, cause I'm big on having a current phone. I don't want to deal with not having one, right? But the prices on these phones, bro, I can't justify it no more, bro.
Oh no, it's ridiculous.
I can't justify it no more.
It's ridiculous.
It's a motherfucking down payment on something more significant than a phone. Like, I'm like, huh? Family, I'm not giving you guys $1,200
For a phone.
I'm not doing that.
That's how much.
Oh, you
phones
can
are
bust
now?
it down, huh?
That's how much phones are.
Nigga,
Like,
the new one, like, if I upgrade from where I'm at, yeah, that joint right there, that's $1,200.
$1,200 phone.
Yeah.
Big bank take low bank.
And they talk about you could pay $30 a month and call it.
for the rest of my life. Like, what are you talking about? Because by the time I pay this bitch off, I'm about to get the next one.
For real.
And then you know what I'm saying?
That's why they do it.
No, that's exactly why they do it.
But weak.
Wifey need a new phone. Like, I'm good. Like, I have an S10. I'm good.
Yeah.
But wifey need a new phone. And I'm like, I bust down $1,200 for this.
All right. So before we get into these topics, since we're at episode 50, like, I feel like we've created a pretty good habit, and especially over the last like few weeks since we've been doing the pod here, we've been pretty consistent. And it takes like 21 times to make something like a full on habit.
Yeah.
What was it, 21? I think that's the rule or whatever. Is there any habits that you guys have created like recently, or like that you created a long time ago that you stay consistent with?
I haven't.
Yeah, stretching when I wake up in the morning. Stretching. I got away from it. My body's feeling mad different, but I'm an early bird. Every morning I go in the living room. Ain't nobody else in the house up. I go in the living room. I stretch. And then I usually jump on the sticks because I work at night. So I'm like, I better stretch for I'm sitting down for 3 hours right now. But yeah, waking up and stretching and drinking water. I almost only drink water, except for when I drink liquor.
How about you, Triz?
Nah. And that's actually my downfall. That's something that my wife tries to get me to change all the time.
Like breaking habits or creating habits?
Creating a more structured, like my the day schedule. Because I feel like so much stuff happens to me that when I create a plan, it never goes through. Like if I want to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this today, something's gonna happen to where I'm
Maybe
not.
Like
gonna
I
be
get a
able to
flat
do-
tire. Or some
Yeah,
shit.
something stupid, or I get a call. I gotta go here, make a trip to Riverside, whatever. But
You know what's crazy with me, bro? During the quarantine, you guys, Derek, like I had a great routine, bros. Made sure I ate breakfast, like almost 2 breakfasts, whole bunch of push-ups, hang out with Baron, take him for a walk, come back, put him down for a nap, get him up, give him lunch, work out again. Like, I had a good, you know what I'm saying, ever since we've kind of like been able to go outside a little bit more and things have started to open back up. I ain't been in my routine at all. I don't be working out no more. I don't eat as much as I was. Like, I done broke the little routine that I had going, and it was for a good month, and a half maybe.
Yeah,
I was going strong. I was going real strong.
You want some more? Yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean, I got one of those because I started going to the gym since the quarantine. So yeah.
I think that having a certain amount of structure is good. It's for sure necessary. Like I try to structure my days, and then I try to, if this makes sense, I try to leave time for random shit. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't try to structure every hour of my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, I want to be up. Appreciate it. I want to be up. I want to be up by this time. I know I got to stretch, and then if I'm gonna sit down, and in the next 2 hours, I'm only doing my like coaching shit. I'm getting our schedule together. I'm contacting the girls and parents and all of this, doing everything I got to do for that. And then I go, okay, after that, I'm gonna do whatever it is. I got to run to the store. Then when I get home, I'm not about to do nothing for 2 hours. Whatever happens. I might hit the homie. I might go chill at Kevin's house. I might, you know what I'm saying? I might go for a run, or I might, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever it is, but I don't have anything for that. But it's like that 2 hours, and then, okay, then I'm going to do this. Me and wifey going to do this after. You know what I mean? Like, I like structure, but within that, I try to give myself time where I don't have to do shit. Like, I structure my downtime. I structure my alone time.
You schedule free play.
Yeah. Well, and I structure, like, my alone time, like my me time. That's why I tell my wife, like, yo, like, I'm not doing nothing right now. That's my me time. And she know, like, leave me alone. I need that. You know what I'm saying? So, structure for me, I guess, is hella good. I think I do better the more structured I am.
I would say most people do. Yeah. Most people do.
Regimented, I call it.
I've actually talked to a few people that have been locked up, and they said that was actually, like, the best thing, like, for them. They, like, it created structure. It was like that. It wasn't more so rehabilitated with jail or prison is supposed to do, but it more so gave them structure that they never had. So now that they're out, they like, all right, I'm waking up, I'm doing this, I'm going for a jog, I'm going to work. Like, it gives them a structure, and and they stick to their structure to stay out of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the build habit structure is good. I think once you get like I said, I'm super regimented. I don't think everybody should be like me. You know what I mean? Like, I woke up late today, and you saw how I was when you got in the car. Like, I wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? I was like, my bad, man. Like, I'm motherfucking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't that far behind schedule, but I was like, bruh, like, nah, because I know everything else got kicked back a little bit, and that's the only thing I don't like about being regimented. When something gets fucked, it fuck my whole day. I'll be hot.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That little nigga, man.
Derek will go.
Little buff nigga.
I feel him. Don't y'all remember that time when y'all was a kid, man? When the grown ups doing whatever, you gotta be quiet. That's the hardest thing in the world to do. Because you could do it for 10 minutes. But once you get in your groove and you back to doing your thing, you think you can quiet and you start going like this. Then you like, oh shit.
And we learn to do it at church. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I always like tell people, like, you get good at stuff like that. Like, of course, like, you a little kid, you be saying stuff that you ain't supposed to say when grown up saying around. You be cussing or whatever. When you've been in church your whole life, it's easy to just switch that kind of stuff on and off. When you in church and you got to be dumb quiet, but your brother just told the funniest joke you ever heard in your life, and you got to hold it in and chuckle and hold it in so hard it give you a headache. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get used to that kind of stuff when you in church.
Because that's.
I used to feel like Steph would do that stuff on purpose.
Trying to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Low key. And that's when it was like, yo, they were playing for kids. Mom and dad was not playing about that. Over here. In church, no way.
Especially if dad heard it from the pulpit.
Oh yeah, that'll get your head knocked off. Get your head knocked off. You're definitely gonna get whooped at home. That was
part of the reason why I started playing the drums. One of it was because it was like, I don't want to just sit here. It's kind of boring, but it was like also like I want to have fun, and I can go have fun up there. It's not the same kind of fun, but I can go have fun up there, and that looks pretty cool. I didn't even go up there to learn how to play. I was just like, I don't want to have to sit right here. And so I went up there. I was like, oh, the dude was like, you want to try? I'm like, I bet. Started playing the drums.
That's
talent.
Yeah, But kids got it tough, man. Cause he was rocking, but when he came out here, we was talking to him. He was doing his thing. He was like, sew that up. He like, oh shit, like,
I mean,
tone down your fun is pretty much what the adults tell you to
No.
do. Tone down your fun.
That's
That's
the
all
thing
you.
Hey, Triz has one of the best saves of all time. So right, I mean, everybody go to church a little bit here and there, but it's different when you in church all the time, right? And so like Triz, and this is like one of the first, I think it might have been the very first time you came to church with us. We were in Sunday school. I remember Sister Baylor was teaching, and something happened in the Bible. Something happened in the story, and I don't remember at all what the story was. And you was like something about like you didn't want to do or you couldn't do. He was like, man, if that was me, I'd be like, fuck, get you. And when you did it, bro, I was like, oh. And then he caught it. I was like, bro, that was the save of a lifetime, bro. Because your eyes got big real quick and then you fixed it. I was like, bro, what he said? I'd be like, fuck, get you. That was a professional save, bro. Safe at home.
That's how you know people think before they speak. You know what I mean? You should be able to catch your words before you finish them. Like man,
I'll never forget that.
I remember that. Sister Baylor looked at me and was like,
I remember that too. He said, that's classic, bro. That's classic.
Man.
And I said it slow, like I was like, man, fuck.
It wasn't even that fast though. That's why it was such a good save. Exactly how get you. That's exactly how you said it. I was like, wow, he's good. This guy's good. Because it would have just slipped out. It was for me.
When I was like, she was like, Jesse, who woke you up this morning? I was like, my alarm clock. I was like, is this a trick question? I woke up on my like.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing that
funny.
That
back in the day.
That's the one thing that I'll say about you is that anybody that stayed the night at our house on a Saturday night, you were going to church with us Sunday morning because we were for sure gonna be in church. But a lot of our friends, they would do it a couple times and was like, all right, man,
they're serious about this.
Mike and Steph is cool, bro, but I'm not down with that. This dude Triz would this dude would come over like wouldn't even stay on a Friday, but would make sure he came over on a Saturday. Like, nah, I'm going to church. I remember you telling your dad on the phone one time in 8th grade, he was like, nah, Dad, I go to church every week. And I was like, oh, he's doing that on purpose. He's not just accidentally spending the night like some of the homies doing. Be like, dang, I gotta go to church with y'all now.
I stopped going to church with my mom. Like she didn't understand. I was like, well, I really don't believe in the church that you go to. I understand that these people make more sense to my life. Like I don't understand why you're trying to make me go to church here. It's not, you know what I mean? So once she got over that hurdle, I was like, man, it's a personal decision.
I feel it.
I'm in church.
I'm in church.
I remember that. I was like, oh wow.
We're going down memory lane on the 50th.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. Let them fly. Y'all want to go ahead and get into the first one, get some of the tough stuff out the way?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure.
So, well, I guess, I mean, it's still tough because it was one of our brothers taken from us, Ahmad Arbery, but the three dudes, they got convicted. 9 different counts.
I think they just got
Travis,
indicted, right? They got convicted?
Convicted, yeah, or indicted, yeah, I'm sorry. Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Roddy Bryan, each indicted by a grand jury for the murder of Ahmad Arbery. Each defendant is facing 1 count of malice murder, 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 1 count of false imprisonment, and 1 count of criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment. They going down, fam. That's a lot.
Well, they're indicted. Now we need our conviction. We need our justice. We're not done yet.
I feel it, but that's...
I feel you. That is something to bring up and to highlight.
Man, what the other thing
we
gotta know what the max sentences for these crimes are. Because when they put the like the first degree this and they trying to downplay it, they're not giving them the fullest extent of their crime.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not giving the, like, that one dude who got charged with, I think, was first degree murder. I think I forgot what it was.
That's what you would want to get. That's what you would want somebody to get his first degree.
Okay, well, they gave him no, this one.
Are you talking about when they were?
I forgot which incident.
Before when was it Breonna? No, it wasn't Breonna Taylor.
Was it George Floyd?
Yeah, it was George Floyd. It was 3rd degree murder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They upgraded it to 2nd degree.
Yeah, got moved up to 2nd.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And I'm with you on that
because he would have been out at 15.
Yeah, there's a difference there. Yeah, and we're not playing around. You know what I'm saying?
We don't good behavior. You haven't said.
Yeah, we don't want no bullshit. We want him convicted of the crime he committed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was premeditated.
But that is a good thing.
It's a step in the right direction. because the Breonna Taylor people still out here walking free.
Yeah.
So that is a step in the right direction, but we need to get her name. We need to keep saying her name and get that back in the front like it used to be.
And that's
people can't forget about that. She was sleeping in her house and they came in and killed her.
Yeah,
like, come on, man.
I think I started doing this thing. I got it from this girl on Twitter, and just every day before she do her little good morning tweets or whatever, she just hashtags Alton Sterling, all of these people's names, and then she like her last tweet is like, just so y'all don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm gonna do that every day. I would do it every day.
Going hard.
Yeah.
I think Brienne posted one thing. She was at, I think it was her. It was like, let me tell you why I'm voting for Trump. I was like, what? It was in her story, and I clicked on it and swiped. She's like, now that I have your attention, the murders of Breonna Taylor are still walking free. We need to get back to work. I was like, oh, that was smooth. Mm-hmm. That was smooth.
Yeah. I've been, bro. You know what? I've been proud of the younger generation. Regardless of race and all of that, they have been going hard, bro. Like, some of my ex-players that are now in college and stuff like that, like black, white, Hispanic, Islanders, like all of these kids, bro, like they're on it like they're one of us, bro. Like one of my players hit me up. I posted something and she was like, Coach, like, before meeting somebody like you, I knew this stuff like happened, but I didn't realize how often this was happening, all of this stuff. And she was like, this is just something I can't stand for. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I applaud you, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, hella these kids get it, and it's like it's hella older people out here just like
and choosing not to get it.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
or they get it, or just pretending not to and choosing to ignore.
And I think it's something like these kids have grown up with more in their hands. They get to see people, more people from other places, and have a different interaction with them. And but then also, their socializing is way different. They don't, even some of them that have parents that are racist or prejudiced, they don't even understand how you could get like that.
Yeah, because and then when you look at just pop culture now, like hip hop is pop culture now, like basketball, like, and hip hop has always been integrated with basketball. And then you got like LeBron James and Steph Curry and all these people that, as a kid, black, white, or whatever, as a hooper, as just a person that is into pop culture, you grow up idolizing these people.
Or you're a white basketball player. Who's your favorite player?
Right. And you don't have those types of conversations with your parents. A lot of kids don't. You know what I'm saying? We knew our parents' beliefs because it was something that was like, we're in church every Sunday, they're in Bible study every Wednesday, we're at Sunshine Band rehearsal, so it's like we clearly see, you know what I'm saying, the things that you're into. And then us just being nosy kids to be sitting in there when they talking about politics or whatever. But not every kid is privy to those kind of conversations or even have those kind of conversations with their kids.
With us.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, just like I feel like a lot of black parents are, because you have to be. Our parents were very transparent with us, like shit that was going on. You know what I'm saying?
Black parents, I feel like black parents don't really have a choice.
No,
they got to be transparent with their kids.
You got to tell them it as soon as they can understand what it is, so they can. It ain't a fear thing; it's an understanding. You know what I'm saying? And it's a damn shame that it's like that. But I was telling it was actually a dude in the store. He was talking about some Black Lives Matter stuff. I was like, do you realize that, like, my mother worries about every single one of her sons and every single one of their friends because she doesn't see us every second of the day? My mom will call me and say, just want to make sure you're still breathing. I was like, your mom's never called you and said that or felt like she had to. My mom does that out of she feels a need to do that.
You see the black senator? She was like on a panel. I'm not sure how recent it was, but I think it was in Arkansas. And she was up on the panel, and I think they were talking about like open carry laws and like stand your ground laws and stuff. And she was saying how like those laws are pretty much in place to defend white people. She was like, now I'm the only person of color on this panel. She was like, and I worry about my son just like y'all worry about y'all's kids. You know what I'm saying? And she was going hard, and the dude was like, you're out of line. She was like, so what? What are you gonna do? Shoot me? He's like, you need to go be out of line somewhere else. She was like, no, I don't. I'm an elected official just like you. I got the right to be here. And I'm upset. They was trying to cut her off, like, and cut the conversation short about that. She was like, this needs more time. And you know, and I actually like read up and followed up on it after she gave that passionate rant and then stormed out like that. Like somebody had to like go, like she was like out and like really upset, like crying. Yeah. Somebody had to go and console her. And after that, they ended up letting the NAACP speak, and they actually voted down the stand your ground law in Arkansas, whatever town that she was in.
Yeah. Well, shit.
Good.
Need to find her name and shout her out. Actually,
It seems like that we're being heard and actions being taken place in places that it's never happened before, or that it's rarely happened before. It seems like people are losing their jobs right now for saying all lives matter. You know what I'm saying? That's never happened before. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just this one girl said, I don't know why everybody's saying make racists scared again. I'm glad y'all are out here, and a lot of y'all are having to pay for y'all racist views. She said, I love seeing you motherfuckers lose y'all jobs. I love seeing you motherfuckers dragged and canceled on Twitter and shit like that. I love that shit. She's like, so go ahead, keep on being racist. Y'all days coming to an end. That was her stance. You know what I'm saying?
speaking of racism, let's get into the whole Bubba Wallace situation. So Bubba Wallace, the only black NASCAR driver, or the only black driver in NASCAR. So in the midst of everything going on, he went to work and saw what he thought was a noose in his garage.
A noose-like
rope in his garage. And so like there's this big like march down the speedway or down the little thing or whatever. If you turn on SportsCenter, they might even still be running it. But all the drivers came out there and supported him and walked with him, and he took his mask off, like, you know, he supposed to have a COVID mask on. So I'm sorry I don't have my mask on, but I just want to show whoever put that there that you're not going to take away my smile. I'm not afraid, and this, that, and the third. And then after the NASCAR's investigation, they found out that, you know, I guess it wasn't a noose, and there was like no like racist intent, and I guess like it just happened to look like that.
They called the FBI to investigate. Before the FBI got done with their investigation, ahead of the NASCAR even calling them, they came out and said that a hate crime was committed. Which I think is the right move. I think when you got something that looks like that, I applaud NASCAR for backing their driver and siding with him. Like, if it looks like a noose, if it ended up not being a noose, I'd rather be on the right side of that than not. You know.
But I'll ask you, do you think? I mean, it looked like what it looked like. The SportsCenter shots that they give you, where they put the little circle around it and highlight it, is far off. If you're not in, I'm sure it may look more like a noose when you see it. It looks kind of like a noose on TV. I'm sure it may even look more like a noose in person. But I'll ask you, if everything wasn't going on the way it's going on in this country right now, do you think they would have still thought that was a noose?
Yeah.
Without all the Confederate flag stuff, without all the marches and the George Floyd and everything.
Well, that's why.
But that's what I'm saying. Without all of that going on, if it was just like how it felt in the early 2000s, when everybody thought everything was peachy keen.
Without George Floyd, Ahmad Arbery, yes, he would have still been taking it that way, because he still would have been the only black man in NASCAR. They wave Confederate flags at every event, and we know this is a sport that is known to house a lot of races just because of where it's, you know, located, where it's predominantly at, where it's most popular at. You know what I'm saying?
And mind you, this happened on the heels of NASCAR banning Confederate flags at their events.
Yes.
So you got everything going on in the country. NASCAR bans Confederate flags, and then he thinks he sees a noose in his garage.
Yeah. And
that's what I meant about erase all of that. Do you think it's still, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
I think it's an interesting question to ask.
I don't think it's making mainstream. He probably will report it to NASCAR.
Oh, that's making mainstream, man.
Nah, I don't think so.
Because of who could potentially have put that there.
And that's the thing. I think it got out like that because he had already took those other steps.
What do you mean?
The steps him petitioning to get the Confederate flags out of NASCAR.
I think without everything going on right now, I think NASCAR takes their time at pushing at letting the press and the whole world know about this.
Yeah.
I think they go ahead and let an investigation go through, and then they talk about it, and then I think Bubba Wallace comes out and he's like, hey man, the FBI did their thing and whatever, but I think that's a news. Like I just see it playing out slightly differently if things weren't so tense right now. Or I'm sorry, I could easily imagine that it would go differently if things weren't so tense now.
I just look at it and say that, to me, the difference in what NASCAR response has to be is based on how seriously Bubba Wallace is taking that.
By the way, I think NASCAR did everything right, just for the record. I think NASCAR did everything right.
I think that Bubba Wallace takes that, no matter what the climate is, exactly how he took that. like, you've been the only black person in a situation that it wasn't exactly comfortable. He works in that every single day.
That's why I said
You know
I
what
think
I'm
his
saying?
stand still is like they did their thing, but I think that's a noose. I'm not changing how he feels. I'm saying, do you think NASCAR and
Yeah, but I'm
the
saying-
whole press, do you think it would have been blown up the way it was? And do you think it would have played out the same way?
Yeah.
But I mean, you answered it though. You
Yeah.
answered it.
Yeah. I think he's just gonna be balling to that level. He's gonna have to say something. He's gonna have to be loud about it, and it's gonna, for better or worse, force NASCAR's hand.
Speaking of perceived racism, see your boy Lil Wayne say he doesn't know what racism is.
He said this before.
I think that was it. The old clip.
I think he just like retold the story because it looked recent. It looked like a recent because he been doing his little podcast thing, and it looked like it wasn't on his podcast, but it looked like a recent.
Oh,
video.
it wasn't him and Skip.
No.
Okay.
No.
The last time it was him talking to Skip.
Yeah.
Oh no, this one no, he wasn't talking to Skip.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he just retold the story about how he found his mom's gun when he was like 6 or 7, shot himself in the chest, and when the police showed up, all the black officers that his quote blacker than him jumped and stepped over his body to look for the guns and the drugs, and it was the white officer that stopped everybody and was like, yo, y'all don't see this little kid on the ground? And he took him to the hospital and made sure he got worked on and stayed there to make sure he was okay. And he said because of that, he doesn't know what racism is. Thoughts?
Lil Wayne's ignorant.
He's ignorant, or that's an ignorant statement?
He's ignorant. He's ignorant. No, he's not ignorant. He knows what he's saying.
Yeah, it's an ignorant statement.
Ignorance would be he doesn't know. He knows. So you don't think you don't know what racism is because on that occasion you don't feel like you experienced it?
Fam was like 7 years old or something.
No, but to say he doesn't know what racism is as a grown black man,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up, dog.
And he went to jail. Well, he didn't go to jail, but
Shut the fuck up, dog.
Oh yeah, he was at Rikers.
yeah.
In General Pop.
Have you ever been
Supposedly.
pulled over for no reason? Have you ever been?
His tour bus has been pulled over for no reason.
Have you ever been denied anything in the music industry that you feel like a white star would have gotten? Do you know anybody who's had any kind
Bro,
of racism?
if I'm not
put against
mistaken,
them?
I was telling
Get
Wifey.
the fuck outta here,
If I'm
Lil
not
Wayne.
mistaken, I remember there being videos of Wayne being on stage or in an interview or something, telling somebody, talking about how some racist somebody or something or other backstage was hating on him because he's a black man with money and this, that, and the third, and just hating that he got a sold out show or something like that. And I'm like, you've spoken about people being racist against you before. And like, bro, you can't do that. Like, that exact thinking is part of the problem. Like, people have a problem with one black person or one white person or one Mexican person or one Asian person, and then they assume that they just group all Asians or all Mexicans or all blacks, or they just group that whole group because of that one person's actions. Just because one Asian knows karate doesn't mean the other one does too, bro.
Facts.
Like, you can't do that. Just because one black dude beat you up walking home from school doesn't mean every black dude you see is gonna beat you up. You can't do that. And so Lil Wayne can't then turn around and say because this one white man saved his life when he was 7, albeit he saved his life, I'm not demeaning that, but because this one white man saved his life, there's no such thing as racism.
And
Come on, fam.
And you ever heard of this thing called systemic racism? It's kind of this system. Don't play. All right, Lil Wayne's done. He's told this story a million times though. But Lil Wayne has a history of substances and all that. I'm gonna try to shoot him some bail on that. Maybe he wasn't in his right mind, but Lil Wayne, shut your mouth. We're out here fighting a very important fight right now, and that kind of shit hurts us. Shut up. You don't know anybody that's faced racism. Oh, you don't know what it is. That's funny.
Shit, he might be one of the people working for the other side.
Like, come on, dog. Shut up.
Sooner or later, people will show you exactly who they are, man. You'd be like, man, I was a fan. I was a big fan of this dude, man.
Man, I had an iPod full of Lil Wayne.
Yeah, you did.
I was a little.
Yeah, you
No,
was
6.
probably one of the biggest Lil Wayne fans I've ever met.
That's a fact.
But this, come on, it's unexcusable. No, nothing not to take away from the music or whatever. People love you, Lil Wayne. You can't say that. And it's to spit in the face of everybody that has ever said racism is being acted against on me.
That's like calling him a liar.
It's like you don't know what that is. So if they told you, you'd be like, that doesn't happen. Because
I don't
you
believe
feel
it.
like somebody saved your life. Like, I'm gonna help you out, Lil Wayne. All of those motherfuckers should have did that, but they're doing their job. All of them should have did that.
And I'm sick of.
And that don't mean that nobody's racist.
I'm sick of these. I'm sick of all these celebrities getting the pass of I misspoke. Like, we all misspeak. I'm not saying they're never allowed to, but every time they say something stupid, they just come out and say I misspoke. And Wayne's not gonna do that. He's gonna stand by what he said because he's been saying this for years. But I've been seeing people online like, oh, what he meant to say is he's seeing individuals for da-da-da. But that ain't what he said though, fam. You telling me this man that makes his money off words
and knew he's gonna.
He makes his money
putting words together. Yes, stop that.
He has a whole fortune off putting words together. You tell me he didn't know how to put his words together in that interview? The hell out of here, fam. The hell out of here, man.
You knew you were showing up for that. And like I always say, I think that in certain interview settings, I know this. The line of questions talked about. I'm not saying that's what happened with Lil Wayne. But you're an entertainer. You're used to thinking of fielding what questions could come and knowing and having ready responses for them. This is a story you've told before. So you're gonna tell it now, right now, with what we're doing, what we're out here doing. So all these people out here protesting, doing all this shit for what? Because racism ain't real. Shut up. Like, come on.
You need to sit down, man. Lil Wayne need to sit down.
We need to stop letting people be loud and ignorant and loud and stupid.
He needs to sit down.
And we like, bro, like,
nigga Wayne, go pick the cup back up, fam. That's when Wayne
said, what he said, miracle potion? Is that what he called it? Something like that.
My cup.
Super potion or something like that. He need to sit down. Speaking of sitting down, Trevor Ariza and Avery Bradley both said they sitting out when the NBA start back up. Ariza for the Blazers, Avery Bradley for the Lakers. They both said they sitting out.
Those are big players for those teams.
When we beat the Clippers, Avery Bradley had like 25.
Yeah, that is fully their decision.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not ever like, I feel for me, like I said, that everybody should be out here doing all that they can for the cause.
The season starting back with the 31st.
I believe so.
That's when training camp starts.
Yeah, and then there's shit like every person's got a different situation. Like me and you talked about, I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, but I think you brought it up on the podcast before, but you want to protest, but your wife doesn't want you to do that. And you don't. You're a family man. You know what I'm saying? And like, I made the joke to my wife, like, you got more to live for than me. I'm going to go out there. If it gets Millie and something happens to me, I'm leaving a wife behind, but I'm not leaving children behind. You know what I'm saying? If Avery Bradley and they feel like this is what I got to do to keep my family safe, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. That's everybody's decision. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at the teammates like, fuck this, man. Fuck. They could be upset too. They don't got to just be happy about it. You know what I'm saying?
But they're the only ones that have a reason to feel some type.
Yeah, the rest of us is shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not our
that
stance.
man doing what he got to do for his family. I'm never going to get mad at nobody for doing what they got. Even if it means it's going to hurt me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If Mike got it, like, let's say Keish don't fuck with me. And Mike like, hey fam, like, I was, you know what I mean? The last time you and Keish got together, she not really let her cool off. I'm not going to be like, man, what the fuck? That nigga, he got to go home with her. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? That's my brother, but nigga, that's her husband. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be mad at anybody doing what they got to do for their household. And that's just, it's going to be a lot of players though. I think it's going to be a lot of players because of COVID or because of
the deadline passed already.
Oh, they had to do play?
They had
is there a list out? I didn't even know
there was one other dude, but I forget his name.
Oh, just one other player.
Only those three. Dwight Howard said he was going, he wanted to keep protesting and all that. Only those three, from what I understand.
Wow.
And I was checking Woj. I was refreshing Woj all day yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought, bro, when that first came out, I didn't know that there was a deadline on it. I thought at least there was going to be 10 players. I thought at least 10 players.
Deadline was Tuesday.
Dang.
Yeah. Because
Bradley Beal came out and said some shit and all that. Like, damn. Okay, only 3.
Kyrie.
Well, he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
He's not playing?
Yeah, he wasn't gonna be allowed to play. Cause even if the Nets would have made it, he wasn't gonna be allowed to travel with them because he's not gonna be an active player. He wasn't gonna be allowed to go cheer him on the bench and be in the bubble and all of that. He was gonna have to, because you're hurt. You're not gonna play no way. Like,
no,
keep it at the crib. Keep it at the crib.
That's extra body we don't
need.
It's for us on TV, fam.
Yeah, unnecessary.
So his take was from a non-playing aspect anyway. So he said, if I could play, I wouldn't.
No.
They said behind the scenes he was down to play, like something about like
he didn't go into the bubble if he could go cheer on his teammates.
Right, but since he couldn't go, that's when he was like, we should just sit out.
Yeah,
they say that's what sparked his whole. I want to protest. We should just not play.
That's what
because he couldn't.
That's what Kendrick Perkins said.
Yeah,
and they say he went. And they say he went.
Everybody got that homie.
They say he went and tried to do something behind Chris Paul's back, who's the player, not behind his back, but didn't consult with him first. And Chris Paul's the president of the Players Association. Yeah, man. I mess with Kyrie. He's one of the best ball handlers, one of the best finishers around the basket I've ever seen in my life. He hit that big shot in the finals to beat the Warriors. But off the court, I don't mess with dude, bro.
I don't mess with homie on the court. Let's talk about basketball.
We talk about basketball for a little bit.
Last time,
we only had 55 minutes.
Let's put Kyrie in perspective. He's very, very good.
Very talented.
Come on, dog.
What has he done without Bron?
Nathan, wrecked Boston.
Fuck Boston up.
That's what I'm saying. We've seen. Okay, I'll put it like this. We've seen John Wall with one of the worst rosters in the NBA go to the playoffs. We've seen Kyrie with one of the worst rosters in the NBA just score a bunch of points and pick first in the draft.
Like what, 21 wins or something like that?
Yeah, pick first in the draft. Every year Bron went there. He was on that team. After Bron left the first time, they got him.
Yeah.
Until Bron got back, he was the best player on that team.
For sure.
What you done?
Nothing.
What you done?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, I think he nice.
Let me be real and be transparent. When he wanted to leave the Cavs, I was with him. He was like, bro, I hit that big shot. I did all that stuff in the playoffs and the finals, and everybody just want to talk about LeBron. It's like, I got my ring already, bro. I'm out. But since then, like you said, he ain't done nothing but wreck Boston.
Before then and after then. What's up? And he stayed hurt.
But wasn't he supposed to be? He wasn't even supposed to play that year. Wasn't he supposed to get surgery and he decided not to?
Something like that.
Or he got it like in a playoff right before the playoffs started.
Nah, he told Cleveland that he was going if
he got it in the offseason.
Yeah, he was gonna have surgery and miss games. Man, he was gonna wait till the season.
Kyrie is one of them dudes, man. As a little dude, like if I could play like somebody, it'll be Dame first. I'd want to have Dame Lillard's game, but after Dame, Kyrie, man.
No way. Kyrie too much injury, man.
Kyrie, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about having his body. I'm talking about his game, his handle, his jumper, his finishing ability. Like, bro, he could finish around the basket with either hand with any kind of shot over any player.
I just think like him and Westbrook to play like that is to bring on a certain amount of injury. You can't and do all of that. It's not a mistake. He got bad knees.
That's true.
You know,
when I really got my game up and I was slicing between stuff and a lot, I was getting hurt a lot.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you pay a price to do that, and I personally, I'm just not rolling. Like I'm just not rolling. Like he's very, very good.
See, Westbrook didn't have no injury problems till Beverly.
That's true, but since then, he been having but it's both knees now. They say at the end of every season he have a minor procedure to clean his shit up. At the end of every season.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Westbrook now. And that's what I'm saying. When Westbrook started that next season, he wanted Patrick Beverly. He wanted the fade on the court.
He wanted the fade when it happened.
Yeah, but he
was hopping over there for the fade. It was like, bro, you better sit down somewhere.
Yeah, and he went to
Pat
the table.
Bev is with the business.
He'll run you up. He'll run you up.
He could probably beat Westbrook up just if they both healthy.
Straight up, yeah.
Healthy. If they both healthy,
they both healthy.
Beat him up.
Where Patrick from? Where Beverly from?
Chicago.
That'd be a good fight. Westbrook from LA.
Nah, I think he I don't think Westbrook could fight like that, bro.
That nigga got too much aggression. He can't throw your
That's
hands.
true.
That's
true. I mean? He got a lot of aggression, but that don't mean you can fight.
No.
I think Pat Bev can put them together, bro.
Not for sure.
I think Pat Bev can put them together.
He's standing there looking at everybody square him up and down.
Marcus Smart is another dude I think could really put them together. He just looked like he grew up fighting a lot. Yeah. He just looked like that.
Who looked like they can't?
Can't?
JJ Redick?
I think JJ Redick got the things on him.
I think that nigga know martial arts.
You know who really don't look? You know who really don't look like he can fight at all? Vince Carter.
Oh yeah.
Vince Carter too athletic, dog. I ain't messing with nobody.
He been in the gym all his life.
I ain't messing with nobody athletic, man.
But it's different. Like Chris Brown is one of them dudes. Like let me leave that alone. But like it's some dudes that just because they're athletic, it don't really mean nothing.
Like, the heavyweight
Vince Carter don't look like him. Matter of fact,
in the women's division.
I remember Jalen Rose telling the story. He's like, Vince Carter's a dude that he ain't finna fight. He ain't finna do nothing like that. But he did a body slam Sam Mitchell one day when they got into it in the training room. Said Sam Mitchell came over there messing with him. Sam Mitchell like pushed him. He didn't even throw no punches. Got him body slammed and walked out the room.
And that's that. I'm dumb athletic, bro. Don't make me really try to hurt you. Throw you on the ground real quick. Get up off of me, bro. I'm out. What's next on the docket?
Bro, this dude, Vince Carter, like, I seen a thing on Instagram first after watching him on All the Smoke. I seen this thing on Instagram where he was talking about on All the Smoke how, like, he's played against fathers and sons now at this point. Like, he was a teammate with Dale Curry at one point. Now he played against Steph Curry. He was talking about all, like, the different fathers and sons that he's either played against or been teammates with, or, like, vice versa. And I'm like, dang, this nigga's, like, is it, like, 22 years? 21 years?
I think it's 21.
That's stupid. And he still move well. He's not like just out there like trying to win an Ironman award.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? His team is not a playoff team or nothing like that, but he's a contributor to his team, and he's like,
still,
you know what I'm saying?
Sustaining his same amount of buckets.
Me and Darius was talking about this, and he said he don't want to see no old ass dudes in the league like Vince Carter. He said, get him out of here, get a young dude. I was like, bro, he's still holding down a job. He ain't getting no handout, bro.
No.
I was like, he ain't on no championship
He's not on the
team.
veteran contract.
Like, you know what's crazy?
Like, ain't no championship team go pick him up, but he could fill roles somewhere. He could be on a team and still go out there and play and show young dudes how to be a professional every day and still get it. You know
what's crazy? He said he had his most bounce between like his junior year and his freshman year. His junior year in high school and his freshman year in college. He said he was touching the top of the backboard, man.
That's ridiculous.
He said, I could touch the top of the backboard. I remember when he first said that years ago. I was like, now I was thinking, like, hold on, homie. Like, he wouldn't say that if he ain't never done it. Even if he did it a handful of times.
I'm only 31, but I'm like, man, to be young again, like, I don't even think about it like that. Just if I never would have tore my ACL. But for real, though, to be young again, especially like what I know about the game now, to go back and do it again.
God,
Boom. Perfect segue. That leads me into one of my questions. Do you guys ever think about, like, your childhood and like things that happened to you then, or just like ideals that you had then, and like how it's like shaped and molded your adulthood?
Like events or just things you like?
Just anything at all. Just anything at all. I think about stuff like that all the time.
Like what?
Like I think there's a, you know what's funny? I really didn't start thinking about things like that until one time you said something about the reason I've always been a mama's boy. Like you said after you found out like how sick I was as a baby and as like a toddler, like had asthma and I was always in and out of the hospital. And you was like, yeah, that's why this nigga's that, like, and you wasn't trying to be disrespectful and I didn't take it that way. But you were like, yeah, that's why this nigga's that's why this nigga's a mama's boy. Like he was real sick. His mom had to take care of him. He was always with his mom. The nigga's a mama's boy. It makes sense. And I hadn't even like I never would have even like put that together. And we were like maybe I think I was maybe like 18 when you said that. And before then I had never really thought about stuff like that, but really like since then, and especially like the more like start taking like psychology classes and like all like the child development classes I took, I really started to like think about it more. And especially with the psychology classes, like, but to answer your question, like an example for me is like I think in large part because as a kid I always felt like people didn't listen to me and like that like my opinion was never valued. And so like now that I'm older and like I've created all these platforms to just share, you know what I'm saying? But before I felt like nobody would ever listen, and now I'm like creating all these platforms where like, nah, you gonna listen. I'm gonna put myself on your feed and you gonna listen, you know what I mean? And I don't think that I just wanted to do a podcast. I just happened to do a radio show, you know what I'm saying? But now like that's there, you know what I'm saying? I think about stuff like that. So have y'all ever like looked at anything and made any parallels or any thought about anything like that?
Not in a grand scheme like that, but I mean, for like my mom structured me to be a protector because my dad left when I was young. So you know what I mean, she made sure that I knew how to make sure the house was locked up, everybody was safe in bed, in the rooms, there's nothing, no way anybody can get in the house. And it's not a shock on why I grew up by like guns, safety shit, cameras everywhere, and all that stuff. So I mean that's where I noticed that it goes hand in hand with that.
For me, that's interesting that you say because like you feel like you were kind of groomed for it.
Yeah, she didn't know what she was doing.
And now you can see it like manifest itself as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's like I think the way Dad dealt with me, as the oldest. And I see it in how I respond to tragedy. Like I don't respond to tragedy emotionally out the gate. I let everybody else do that, and I'm trying to see what they need or what the situation needs, and then later on, I deal with my emotional response. I don't think that's very healthy, but that's how, like, and Dad didn't tell me to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just by, like, you're the man in the house when I'm not here. If anything were to ever happen, like, he talked to me about that a lot. If anything were ever to happen to me, like, he would tell me, he was like, your brothers are younger than you. It's understandable if they don't deal with it well. If something happens to me, your mom's not gonna be okay. So who's left? I like me. Yeah, you're left. So you have to be helping your mom. There's things that she knows that she needs to do, but she's gonna need you to get her there. Yeah, she's gonna need you to, like, emotionally get her up to even go do it. Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I think I internalized that, and I suppressed my emotional response to try to diagnose the situation. And then when I get home, I cry, I do whatever, I'm angry or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way that I think. Yeah, that's probably my best, most prominent example of, like, just the manifestation of how things happen when you were a kid, and then what it ultimately looks like as an adult.
So you're saying that your dad doing that essentially makes you a better basketball coach, because you're able to listen to people's insight, their feelings, and able to help them, coach them, because you deal with kids. Yeah, you know, so what's funny? I never thought about it in sports like that, but I do that. I think that's one of my best qualities as a coach. I've been on the sideline with coaches, and they respond to the emotion of the game, and they don't just. It used to drive me crazy. The homeboy used to do that. He'd get so worked up in the game, he can't even coach the game no more. He can't coach the players because he's so worked up, yelling at refs and mad at calls. I'm like, bro, like, you got to remove yourself from all of that. This ain't even happening to you. It's happening to them on the court. You're not playing. And you know what I'm saying? And I flip it on and off. When I'm in the back, I'm very emotional with my players. I am. They need to feel it.
But I tell them, when we're on the court, I'm not gonna be none of that. I'm numb. I get a little hyped and stuff like that, but my thought process is numb. Like, I'll walk past Derek and I'll be talking about plays right after I cussed out a ref, and I'm just doing that to try to get the next call. You know what I'm saying, or whatever? Because I tell Derek, like, I'm working these refs. I'll put my arm around him, and the next time I'll be like, that was terrible, and you know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'll walk past him like, hey, you think we should run that? You think we should run that 4 down right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just, like, my assistant coach, my assistant, because Derek's my JV coach, my assistant coach, she's super emotional, bro. And I always have to tell her, like, you got to remove yourself. She was like, how do you do that? And I'm like, you got to just let it bounce off you. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I've been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? Like, and probably every aspect of my life, if I really broke it down and thought about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's in your everyday routine. Yeah, for sure. Because that's all you were taught as a kid, so that's all you really know. And when you don't know nothing, you're going to fall back onto those teachings. That's why kids' upbringing, to me, is the most important thing in the world. The foundation you set for a kid, it builds their whole life. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? It sets the foundation for everything that they go through in every situation. Like, I don't have kids. So when I see my nephews and stuff, I give them little tips. The little tips that I didn't have growing up was how to defend myself in situations. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was always taught, because I grew up under girls. So I can talk, can listen, I can be responsive. But when it comes to aspect of having to defend yourself, it's going to be real hard for a female to teach a man how to do that. Because she didn't live those situations as a man would live them. So, you know what I mean? My mom did the best she could do. And you know what I mean, but she implemented those things into me, like, okay, I can't teach you how to fight, but I can teach you how to protect us in this house. You see what I'm saying? So
no, for sure. And I agree with you. I think that, like, the environment that kids are in, like, they don't have no choice.
They don't know nothing.
And I'm not saying that if you grow up bad, you're going to be a bad person, but I'm saying the chances are, I'm just talking about the decision making that they're going to make later on in their life. There's decisions that I probably made the right decision in the moment because I was able to remove, and it doesn't happen all the time, but I was able to remove the emotion from it. So I was actually able to think about it clearly. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not getting taught those lessons and everything you do is on impulse, how children are, you know what I'm saying? Every now and then, you are going to make the wrong decision, or maybe too quick a decision, you know what I'm saying? Like, give it more time. Don't make a decision when you're angry, type of stuff, you know what I mean? But yeah, I 100% what Trish is saying. I don't know. It's hard to say what you think is the most important thing in the world, but I think something that has to do with children is definitely, because they're the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just you gotta, and that's why I love sociology so much, because like a sociologist would tell you that give me how this kid was brought up. Tell me how their childhood was, their formative years, and I could tell you what decisions they're going to make when it comes to what job they're going to pick, what job opportunities they're going to take, what risks they'll take. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, I could tell you almost what kind of person they're going to be, because it, like Jesse's saying, it's one of the most important things in the world. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that's super interesting.
Yeah, but hold on, sorry to come back and cut in. But the reason that we did that, though, like you remember that we took that sociology class. A lot of that stuff, sociology of deviance, sociology of economics, that stuff matters in teaching people the development of life. It taught me how the environment that a person's brought up in, good, bad, negative, it impacts their life in a mental way. They don't know that they're seeing their parents argue, that they're going to grow up and argue with their spouse.
Yeah, because it's normal.
It's normal. They think that's communication.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not. And that's what I'm saying. That the reason that I am knowledgeable about it is because I saw all that growing up. And I saw the differences in your house. And that's why I was like, there's no way this is living. You know what I mean? Not no slack on none of my family. I love them all to death. But that's not no way that life is supposed to be. And until you can find out the true source of what's causing it and how to fix it, you're always going to go around in those circles.
You can't deal with it.
And I think that's probably why I don't put any structure on my life, because when I do, I get caught up in those circles, and those circles aren't always good. You see what I'm saying? I'll create negative circles for myself and negative patterns that I don't even know I'm doing until like somebody like my wife or you guys would be like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, oh shit, nigga, I've been low-key doing this for like a month now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But
doing
this isn't cool. This isn't what life is supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that has a lot to do with going to school, socializing. That's why one of the things this pandemic is going to be the worst thing in the long scheme of things, because these kids aren't getting out and socializing with other kids. So when they get into the world, what are they going to do when somebody comes across their face? They're not going to know. They're going to go back to what they done seen on YouTube for the last 6 months.
It had already gotten really weird.
You see what I'm saying? Kids don't know how to be themselves. They don't know how to interact with people.
Even before the pandemic and stuff, like I was telling people, Derek being out of high school every day, it's not. I don't think these kids are weird. I think they're different, and I think that the environment you grow up in shapes little things. And I told them, like, a lot of these, I would tell Derek and Margot all the time, a lot of these kids have a hard time being themselves, bro. They don't think what they're wearing is cool, bro.
That's that social media.
They don't. No. That's a Champion hoodie. Everybody wears that. People's gonna think this is cool. Those jeans are dope. Did you see those Kobe's? Yeah. I want those, not because I like them, because people are gonna want to take pictures of them.
My 11-year-old
crazy,
nephew
bro.
would get roasted for rocking LA gears out here. I was like, give me the light up joints. You know what I mean? Give me the light up joints.
And it really just comes from, like you said, like I think somebody might have said something about self-esteem. That's really just what it comes from. Because for me, it's always been, maybe because we started off in Payless shoes, but for me, it's always been how you rock it. Yeah. You don't have to like bro, like nobody ever sees like name brands on my clothes. But I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing like that, but I get compliments on my clothes and especially my shoes all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about and like I said, I don't wear expensive name brands and stuff like that. And you never see logos on me. So it ain't like people like, oh, that's that Gucci, that's that Polo, that's that this, that, or the third. It's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So and I like I said, I think that just comes from like your own self-esteem and your own confidence. Like, I like that, so I'm gonna wear that and I'm gonna make it look good.
I feel your parents put that in you.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
They made you guys comfortable in your own skin. Most parents don't do that.
I don't know how many kids, and just a testament to what
most kids are getting yelled at because they look like they daddy.
Yep. I feel you.
And then how this man supposed to grow up and be comfortable in his own skin when
it's like, I can't change my face.
12 years old, 13 years old, until he was able to get out and start making his own decisions.
And
That's tough.
And I think
tough.
like
the worst thing a parent can do is forget what it was like to be a kid.
Oh, 100%. And I'm not a parent, so I don't
yeah,
know.
you know what I mean. And that's just what I see. Like, man, you knew that when you grew up, you didn't like that shit. Why are you gonna subject them to do that and live like that when you don't like? And it doesn't have to be that way,
bro. When I became I became a site supervisor, even when I was an assistant site supervisor, that's what I would always tell the staff at every site. Like, bro, like don't even if you don't really like kids and you just took this job because it's convenient for your schedule, you're in charge of kids right now, bro. Like, think about when you were in school.
Yeah.
Like the adults are gonna know what you're doing, but if they not breaking no major rules, if they not hurting nobody, let them rock out, fam. Stop barking on them every time they do something. Like, remember what it felt like to be a kid sitting at the lunch table. And, like, think about that. That's what I would tell them all the time. Remember what it felt like.
Especially when you looking at that kid and you be like, that's a good kid. He probably just had he's probably having a bad moment. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Pull him to the side, ask him if he all right. He probably gonna break down, cry, and give you the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know how many the whole class, because then he gonna hate you.
Yeah, and me and my coaches talk about this all the time, but I don't know how many kids that I've talked to, bro, that they have told me that this is the first time somebody has talked to me and just been straight up with me. Not talk to me as a kid, as a teenager, as a high school student, or as somebody that won't know because you ain't lived enough. Because I give it to them straight. Yeah. I'm not out here berating nobody, but I give it to them straight. Like, when these girls are out here, and then, like, I coach girls. So I see a lot of shit that goes on with high school girls. And I'll pull them aside, and I'll be like, does he treat you like a queen? No. Why are you taking that shit off of him? Well, he's hot. Are you hot?
This girl is crazy, man.
Do you think you're hot?
Can't believe that was an answer.
Yeah, people tell me I'm cute. Then go find somebody that'll treat you better. Actually, it doesn't matter what you think you look like. You deserve better than that.
But see,
you know what I'm saying? And how many girls are like, my dad's never told me that. My mom's never told me that. Like, literally, girls have wrote down at the end of the year, thank you for telling me I'm a queen. How are you not getting that from anywhere but your basketball coach?
I told you. I made
That's
it a point.
Amazing.
I made it a point to start, like, whenever, like, if I'm doing roll call when the kids show up to my program, right? Of course, like, after you've been doing it all year, you pretty much know the order. You know which kid you finna call at whatever name. And I'll be like, and these are like kindergartners, first graders. I'll be like, oh, the beautiful Christina, the beautiful Delilah, the wonderful, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I remember being at a staff meeting one time and it blew my mind, fam. I remember being at one of them staff meetings and it was like one of them things like, stand up if da-da-da-da. And the lady was like, stand up if no one's ever said to you, man, you're hot, or man, you're wonderful. And I'm expecting a couple people, and this is like a good 70 people in the room. I'm expecting a handful of people to stand up, bro. Like, bro, I want to say like 70% of the room stood up, bro. Oof. I was like, what? I've been here, and of course, like, you know, like, I remember, I don't know if she'll want her name on here, but our neighbor that used to live upstairs, like, she struggled with self-esteem for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, like, the first time, like, we would give her compliments and stuff. She was like, she, like, you could tell she appreciated it, but it was like, what?
She told me later on she didn't believe it.
Right, and then it's just,
so thought we were saying it to be nice.
It's uncomfortable. And I remember her saying one time, like, nobody's ever said that to me before, and I'd be like, bro, I've been hearing that I'm handsome my entire life. Yeah. I've been hearing that I can do anything my entire life.
To the point to where I don't believe nothing else that other people tell me.
You know what I'm saying? So I make it a point, bro. When I'm working with kids and I'm around kids for an extended point of time, I'm throwing all of them positive affirmations and all of that extra stuff on their name and just building them up all the time. Because that absolutely blew my mind, man. I couldn't believe that.
Just little stuff like that. Like, you could have a kid in the worst situation imaginable. And if they go to their grandma's house every now and then and grandma always tell them that they're amazing and they could do whatever, not saying that the kid even feels like that all the time, but somewhere in them, they're going to feel when they get into something tough, like I get into tough situations in my life right now. And I go, my parents told me I was built for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that I don't get emotional, not that it's easy to deal with, but I know I'm going to be on the other side of this. This ain't going to break me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, stuff like my mom saying, I raised 3 strong black men. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom told me, she takes pride in that. Us and our friends and all of that shit. Like, if I gave Kevin, Jesse, if I gave them something, job done. These young black men been around me all these years and they ain't get nothing from me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how she views it. You know what I'm saying? Which makes sense in how they raised us. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, like you said, man, like, shit, this is making more of your case. Might be the most important thing in the world. Like, what are you giving kids? And that's why, like, we don't see these kids. Well, shit, the girls on the basketball team, we see them more than their parents. Right? So I look at it like we have a big responsibility. Mm-hmm. I see them every day for hours at a time. I know a lot of kids, they don't spend hours with their parents every day.
My mom told me that's why she allowed me to play sports no matter how bad I was. Because that was my male role model in my life.
And respect.
That was the only way she found a way to get me a male in my life. So she told me,
like,
no matter how bad you were, I had to still take your ass to practice.
Yeah.
Respect.
I've heard that. I've heard that a million times coaching. Mom's like, hey, they're doing real bad in school, but if to take him away from this or to take her away from this means to take you away from this.
Too much out of their life.
And you the only person. Well, what the boy you coached at OG? Well, didn't I coach him when he was like in middle school? He was like, yeah, bro. Like his mom was literally like, yo, if you want to whoop his ass, like whoop his ass. Like
what was that kid's
like his
name?
dad. That's Coors man, right?
Trey.
No, not Trey. Not Trey.
I'm gonna go to sound bleep that
Hispanic, Hispanic dude. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name right now.
He played with Core?
Yeah. Was it him? Or maybe I can't remember his name right now.
You said Oscar? I don't remember that
no, it wasn't. But I remember his mom. Maybe it wasn't a player you coached like later in high school. Mm-hmm. But I remember his mom coming up to me at Del Dios and saying like, "Hey, his dad ran out on us a year ago, and he literally hasn't liked a man or said anything about a man until he met you. I'm telling you right now, you're not his dad, but if you want to whoop his ass, he'll take it like a father. Like, do that, please, because he don't listen to nobody but you." Mm-hmm. Like, I told him, you need to go home and be good. She says the best he's ever been. Mm. You know what I'm saying? She was like, he got in trouble. She didn't let him go to the after school program. Homeboy went ballistic.
Yeah.
And she was like, I have to, like, same situation. I have to bring him here.
It's his outlet.
Yeah, it's the only place where he respects a man. Like, he respects anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's mad. You know what I'm saying? You're the only one he feels like is hearing him. You know what I'm saying? But it's important, man. The kids, their mental space is so fragile that you just need to, everything that comes into it, they're going to experience enough bad and negative living life. Everything that we need to be giving these kids should be positive. And with the note of,
with structure,
you can do whatever you want to do, and shit's going to get hard. Mm-hmm. Best believe that.
Yeah.
But
for sure,
you can do whatever you set your mind to. You are not your circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Type of shit.
Not for sure.
Shout out to all the kids out there, man. Everybody trying to it's tough being a teenager trying to figure it out sometimes. I think about that stuff, and like you think about it now and be like, man, a lot of that stuff I was so caught up on. It's so petty and so meaningless, but when you in it, bro, it's heavy.
That's your world.
You know what I'm saying?
That's your world.
Shout
your
out
world
to all
is so much smaller when you.
Shout out to all the teenagers, all the kids, man, all the high school students, middle school students, whoever, man, any age. Shout out to all the kids out there trying to figure it out, man.
Shout out to anybody trying to change your life. Yeah. If you fight,
respect to all these young kids, man.
Curse, and you fighting that DNA curse, because I'm one of them. My sister-in-law, she's one of them too. It's hard, but you keep your head up, get you good friends, support cast, you be straight. Keep your morals intact. That's the main thing.
That's real.
All right, let's have some fun, man. What y'all been fighting about in the house, man? What y'all been beefing with wifey about? Man? What's going on? What's up? What you got in trouble about lately, man? Talk to
me. Not taking out the trash. Like, Darius had to take the trash out for me one time. And we came back in the house and bro was like, because of like we came back in the house. I was supposed to take the trash out before, and we had the jet. We took jetted. So the trash started stinking in the crib. And Darius took it out, and she didn't say nothing. It was like, y'all ever go through like a silent fight with y'all wife?
Oh yeah.
Like, y'all don't really say nothing, but it's a little tension there, and both of y'all know why. Mm-hmm. And I'm acting like everything's Gucci till you ready to talk about it. That's how I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But we came in the house, and I was like, fuck. As soon as we came in, I smelled the trash. I was like, fuck, I forgot to do it. Mm-hmm. And then I looked at the trash can, and it was gone. I was like, Darius took that shit out for me. Cool. And then I saw her. She looked at it and was like, because the house stank. Mm-hmm. And I was like, fuck. We were sitting on the couch the other day. Usually we get done, we get home, change our clothes, sit down, boom, it's time to watch How to Get Away with Murder. We both sat down, and neither one of us grabbed the remote. We was both like, she was like, are you going to get it? And I was like, Yeah, I'm gonna get it. Like, I know why she was short with me. I was like, I know what time it is, dog. I know what time it is, man. I know what time it is. For sure. For sure.
Shit. Because I heard, like I said last week on the pod, she was mad yesterday. She gonna be mad today, probably tomorrow.
Bro was like, what was Jesse talking about? Did he tell you? I was like, he didn't tell us.
It is, I mean... I don't know.
So that was the last time you got it?
Yeah, I mean, like, because I mean, after that, you know, you're gonna go through your phase where everything's kosher. You know what I mean? Everything's good. Yeah. So, you know,
that's the ill part. The makeup's ill.
I mean,
almost makes it worth it.
I mean, kind of depends on how much emotional toll it takes on you.
That's a fact.
Other than that, it's not worth it. If it's something that's little petty, you gonna talk about, get through,
get over just so we make up. Like
cool,
you arguing with me over this bullshit to make up with your butt.
Then I'm gonna hit you with the slide. You could have just said you was fiending. It's okay. You gotta start the little arguments, but
it's been that long. Not really. Not over here.
But nah, nothing out of that.
You had a good week.
Yeah, I had a good week. Solid week. Dang. It was a week that went by fast. You know what I mean? Because she works a lot. Time works a lot. So.
How many weeks? Okay. How many times a year do you think you go a week without like her getting mad at you?
Oh man, I thought you was about to ask something else. Man, I'm like, man, we already went over that. Don't even open that can. What was you about to say?
Like, how many times? Let's say like
52 weeks out of the
let's
year.
say in a month. How many times in a month? 4 weeks.
When
you go
honest,
a week.
There's 1 week a month. There's always something popping off. And that's not in my control.
So there's never a week where you don't get in trouble for something. Or the weeks where you don't get in trouble for something, even if it's little.
Everything's crucial besides that 1 week. 3 solid weeks.
I don't get in trouble. No, but it'd be my fault though, cause I'm forgetful. And I was gonna say that was gonna be the answer to kind of the answer to my question, but no, because like. And like y'all know, man, Keisha's cool. Like I got lucky, man. My girl's cool. Like she don't be big tripping about nothing really. And even when she do get upset, she upset real quick and then she over it. You know what I'm saying? She don't really dwell on stuff like that. But about a week ago, she told me, she was like, "Hey man, like, you know I got anxiety. Like we just had this baby. Like coronavirus. Like I know I act strong, but like I need you to step up a little bit." Like I need you to step up a little bit. I'm like what do you mean? She's like pretty much like everything. I'm like, what you mean like the finances, like in the budget you handle that? She's like, no, I got that on lock all day, but literally everything else, like the finances in the budget, don't even think about it. I got that under control. All the bills that's always gonna be taken care of. But everything else, I need you to step up. I'm like everything. She's like yes.
Yeah,
I didn't even really try to give like a retort to like what specifically. She's everything else, nigga, everything else.
That's the give and take in a marriage that I don't think is talked about enough, because there's times to where you can't, like, I'll put it like this: when in your relationship, hopefully, in my mind, hopefully you guys both carry close to equal weight, right? There's things that other people are stronger than, and maybe they should do that, but you guys are pretty much supporting each other the same, right? But there are times or a circumstance may put you in a situation where it's your turn to do everything, just about everything right now. Like, my wife handles 95% of the cleaning in the house, and she wants it that way. But when I don't kick that 5, it's a problem because I'm doing 90. You know what I'm saying? And then when she got hurt, when she popped her Achilles, it was, you have to do everything now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, it gives you, to me, it gave me an appreciation for what she does for me on a day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally times where she's like, well, I was thinking I was going to clean the house. And I'm thinking she's thinking we. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, no, sit down. She's like, yeah, I'm not doing a deep clean. I don't need somebody else. I'm just going to vacuum. Da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, cool. And I'll literally sit there, eat or chill, do whatever. She just, you know what I mean? Yeah. But just, I just know for me, when she got hurt, bro, I was like, damn, she makes me dinner almost every night. Like, not that you don't notice, that you don't notice, but you feel it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, now she's laid up. Now, neither one of us are gonna eat if when I get home from work, if I don't do that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
facts.
and I'm a motherfucker. Like, I'll wait to cook, but she ain't like that. So now when I get home, she been sitting here.
So yeah,
and more importantly, she gotta take
that.
medicine and all of that. So she has to be on a certain schedule eating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real.
But it was like, fuck, like cleaning out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I almost never, ever deep clean our bathroom.
Yeah.
She does that.
Yeah.
General clean, we both do it as we go.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, the once a week bust the whole bathroom down, she does that.
That's what Tom was mad at me about last week. I wouldn't deep clean the house. Nigga, I'm the type of
Do
nigga.
they all use deep clean? The word deep clean?
No, I'd use that because that's what you use.
Oh no, okay. I was gonna say, because I be like, what's the difference between what you do and what I do?
She wanted me to scrub the baseboards. Family, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I specialize in guns and tactical shit. Anything in this world, I'm gonna pay for it. Somebody's doing that job. This is a one Betty. I'll still pay a maid service to come in and clean my baseboards before I get down and do them. Yeah. I'm sorry. That's just not my thing. If that was my thing, that'd be my profession. I'd get paid for it. It's not my thing. Like, I'm sorry. I do laundry because I need to. If not, if you're not gonna fold these clothes, babe, after I done washed and dried them, guess what these clothes are gonna be?
They're gonna be right here
In this bag until they all dirty.
They're gonna
and
be
guess
in
what
the hamper
happened?
for you.
Guess what's happening after that? Then they're gonna wash it, cycle right back. You don't like, we're doing this together. I'm comfortable with this. If you are too, that's why we're rocking.
I told Bird I don't fold laundry, and she was like, "So that mean I don't do laundry?" And I was like, "I fold with you a little bit."
No, I'm comfortable with that.
I'm not doing all the laundry. No.
As long as I got
not all the laundry all the time.
as long as I got something to watch, I'll sit in front of the TV and do all the laundry.
Shoot,
Or fold all the laundry.
shoot. The wash and dry cycle about 45 minutes. So I go early, and because I don't have that here, so I have to. That's what I'm saying. So now this is where my not folding comes into play, because I can't go in my backyard or my closet and wash. I got to go to the laundromat.
Same.
So therefore, if I'm doing all of this,
and I gotta wash and dry my house now.
I'm not folding them bugs. I know that you've been at work too, but I didn't have to carry.
But see, bro, like I
I
said,
just don't like folding clothes though.
like I've said on the
I'll
podcast
do
before.
everything else.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Like I've said on the podcast before, ever since Keish had Baron, I've pretty much been doing all the cleaning. That includes the laundry. So I wash and dry it, and I don't always fold. Sometimes it just all the white stay in one hamper, all the dark stay in another. When we just go fishing for the clothes, but sometimes I do wash, dry, and fold up everything.
I know what it is.
Time will put all of that in one wash, light and dark, nigga.
Huh?
No.
No.
That's why I'm starting to wash.
Like my wife,
Sorry to blast
my wife.
I didn't even bust it down to grays now.
Man, you got to.
I was about to
color
say,
grays,
my wife loves wearing black so much that we do a black load. Like we just keep all
it
the black.
black.
Yep.
That keeps your dark clothes dark.
But you know what it is? I don't fuck with, because in my building there's a laundromat, and my building's almost like it's almost like a hotel. Almost, you got to go inside and everything's inside. Right?
Yeah, right.
Y'all know, y'all been there.
It's an indoor building.
Yeah. So we have a washroom there. Long story, company we had a wash and dry with. We was renting it.
Did some funny stuff.
I had to get that shit out of there. So we've been at the laundromat in our building. When the washer and dryer was in the apartment, I'd wash the clothes all day. I'll even fold them every now and then too. But the back, like you said, the back end, no, it's just down the hallway for me. Nah, family. You know how long it take one person to do four loads?
Nigga, 5 hours.
What?
I have to wash like 7 at a time. That's when I'd be like, okay, that's my fault because I didn't manage this correctly.
I'll go in the middle of the night so I could get every washer and dryer in that bitch.
You know what's
Because I am not going back and forth here 5 times. Are you outside of your mind?
One trip or die trying.
And then look, you gotta take the washer, right? You gotta take all the clothes when you go put them in the washer, right? And then you gotta bring your basket of shit back. And then you gotta go to put them in the dryer. And then nah, bro. 3 chips per load? No way, family. I'm not doing that, dog. I'm not. And I got 5 of them. No way.
You know what's actually?
I'm gonna be washing these motherfuckers all day. I'm not doing this shit.
You know what's actually made me like not fold, especially my whites, because I put my stuff like almost like in like a ball bag, like where it's like a tie on it,
a net on it.
Like a net bag, right? I put like especially my whites, and it's a white bag. Sometimes I just throw the bag in with the whites and everything. I leave everything in there and just tie it tight, and then throw it in one of them like It's like one of them, but it's almost like an oversized Tupperware. It's like the big plastic box with the lid on it.
Yeah. Bins.
Bin, oversized Tupperware. Throw it in the bin, seal it up in there. Nigga, go for your socks the next day. They're still warm.
Oh, okay. See, I tried something like that and the shit got moist and
Oh, you got to make sure they're all the way like hot dry, like not like, you know what I'm saying?
They were hot dry, and that's what I'm saying. The heat was so hot that but I had it in the bag. I didn't have it in the bin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So,
hey, have it in the mesh bag with the holes,
I
and
didn't
then
have
put
a
it in the
mesh
bin.
bag,
Yeah,
because they cooled off a little bit by the time it. Yeah,
exactly.
But man, I opened that bag up, boy.
Had to throw some stuff out, huh?
Nigga, I want to throw the whole bag. I'm that nigga. We can go, nigga. If I ain't got socks and drawers this week, and it's not on my wash time.
Oh, we're
gonna
buy
Walmart.
Yep.
Nigga, a sizzle.
Bruh, I have no problem. Y'all know how I am with the socks.
Yeah, you going to the
I got my
store.
own. I done have my own place for a while now. So the socks is nuts, fam. There's no reason for me not to have socks on.
You've never had a reason not to have socks.
I really don't have.
If I'm out of socks, it's like, what happened? Like
somebody stole your socks if you're out of socks.
I really don't have like a problem with that, because and this will kind of like sometimes people be calling me a pretty boy because I be online talking about like my beard and like skin regimen and stuff like this. Will dispel
That's
a lot.
important.
This will dispel a little bit of that. I don't shower every day, fam, and so I'm not finna put on fresh stuff if I haven't showered.
Say this again.
I don't shower every day. You heard me. if I'm just in the house and if I haven't really gone out, especially with the quarantine, but even before the quarantine, like since I've been working from home, if I'm not out like that, like if I've been out and I'm at a game and I'm up and down the baseline, like that's different. Like if I start to smell, of course I'm gonna take a shower. Like I'm not finna just be.
But
walking
the next morning you're just gonna.
But like it's not like I don't wake up like mandatory. I don't start my day with a shower. I don't end my day with a shower like most people do. I like almost take them out of necessity. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying?
I like to start my day with it.
Okay, technically there are 24 hours that go past where I don't shower, but
you have one every day though.
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like there's times where I'll shower at 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying, on my off day, because I work 10 to 6. And then I've been chilling all day trying to enjoy my day off because I don't want to go to sleep and miss my day off. And I'll be like, damn, I need to shower. I ain't showered since before I went to work yesterday. And then I jump in the shower at 2 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Or 11:30 or something like that the next day. But I guess I don't shower every day either. But it's rare that I go like a day, like just, I ain't gonna shower. Nah, that probably don't happen.
I go a couple days to be real. Now, if I'm like,
I can't do it.
if I know I'm finna like if I know I'm finna be around people, I'm finna go like that. Don't get that twisted. It ain't like I'm finna jump up and run somewhere.
We
just,
feel
you know what I'm saying?
off them over there.
I don't care.
Oh, we know.
Oh yeah, we know.
I'm waiting for y'all to bring some vulnerability to the podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for y'all to come in here and tell some stories and really give it up. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Shit, I done gave it up so much. My wife be like, you give it up too much. Sometimes she was like, look, what the fuck? Literally, she was like, I heard your little podcast. I'm like,
a lot of the time for me, if I don't show her, she might not even see it. I'd be like, man, you don't support me. Shit. Man. You don't support me, man. Bird be heavy on the gram. Keisha ain't really heavy on the gram. Like she get on, do what she gonna do, and get back off.
She showed me catching some
Instagram,
shit. Yeah, she showed me catching some shit that's inflammatory. Like some shit about. Like I gave it up a little bit, shit, but she still hitting me over the head with
knocking on. This
is it okay if I come in there?
Speaking of that, you said she don't listen to the whole thing, but she see the videos, man. Shout out to everybody. Like, no matter how you consume the podcast, whether you listen to the whole thing, whether you watch the whole video on YouTube, or if you only just watch, you know what I'm saying, the little clips on Instagram. However you consume the podcast, man, we appreciate you, man.
And we appreciate the comments via straight personal text.
All
if
of
you
that.
got the number,
all
leave
of that.
a comment on there.
All of that. I would like everybody to go subscribe to my YouTube because I got a lot of different stuff coming out on my YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Most people do follow me on my Instagram, but I would like more people to follow me on my YouTube. But like I said, however you consume my content, as long as you get it and see it, that's all I care about, man. So thank you.
Shout out.
What y'all got, man?
Mike blew my mind. You don't shower with your girl, like, and that's part of my reason on why because I think I would do the same thing because I don't go nowhere. But then when time come on, I shower with her all the time though.
I mean, we haven't done that for a long time, but like I said, all of that is even when we had Baron, it's like, oh, he's asleep now. Like, oh, chance to get it in, or let's go jump in the shower or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But especially now with 2, it's like,
dang, I don't know if I'm ready for kids.
it's different.
And that's what I'm saying. Now,
it's different.
Looking at it like I'm grown now, because I've always wanted kids growing up. You know, we wanted to have kids at the same time, so we be the same age. But now that I'm older, and I'm like, dang, like a lot of the stuff that I do personally will not fly with kids. Will not. I'd have to change the way my house is. All these corners in here, dangerous. And I'm just like, man. And I ain't even told time this yet, but what? I'm 32. I give myself 2 more years. If I don't have kids in 2 years, I'm not having none.
No, I remember one time, if you don't want me to say it, but I remember one time you was talking about adopting. You're not down for that no more?
No, I do that, although that's in the same 2-year span, too.
Okay.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You don't want to be child rearing at past a certain age.
No, man.
Just be a dog dad, man.
I mean, and yeah. Nah, because then, we're too far, and I don't know. I don't know. I just got to put a time limit on that. I can't have that expectation, that hope lingering over my head. I either got to know it's happening or not.
Maybe that could be like what your podcast is sent around, like Dogs and Guns.
Dogs and Guns. I mean,
we can come up with some kind of cool name like based around like Dogs and Guns.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Because like I said, I never been an animal person, especially not a dog person. But I love, and I remember the one time I said something about, I was like, man, don't bring up your dog after I'm talking about my kids. And I remember like telling Keish, like, I hope Jesse didn't take offense to that. But I love like. I think the relationship you got with your dogs is super dope. I tell you that all the time. Like, and most people, like, even if their dogs listen, it ain't like, I don't know. Like, you see people that's like, if it's the family dog and it's like a family member, sometimes the dog don't always listen like that. You know what I'm saying?
Gets away with too much.
And then other people, I've also seen other people that their dog listens to every command, but it's not like you don't really see a bond. It's almost like it's different.
It's too much of a dog.
You got both. Like a good combination of both. And I think that's dope. That's dope.
Like, I've had my dogs in here and never barked.
Yeah. We do the podcast here every week. You maybe heard a dog bark once. I don't think there's ever been one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember. Because the only time I hear them bark,
I got 2 of them.
I just remember I was
when it's like it's a mad loud right out here, or somebody else got their dog out here.
I was watching back one of the clips and some sound went off. I remember Jesse, like you looked up and was like, and I saw your face kind of like, dang. I don't know if that was a dog bark or not.
It was probably my dogs.
Anything else, man? What y'all got? One thing I was saying, man, like, I'm gonna keep coming up with questions, and I'm gonna try my best to bring like my personal stories here, but we all got to do that because that's like the stuff that like people want to hear, and that's the stuff that's honestly, that's like the best parts of the podcast to me. Like when we laughing and really having a good time, that's when I'm having like I love talking about this stuff. I talk about this stuff whether we got the microphones and cameras here or not. So I could talk about it all day and night, but I have the most fun like when we laugh. Matter of fact, there we go. Before we get up out of here, this being the 50th episode and all of that, we've been homies since what, 7th grade?
Yeah, I meant to say that. It's been almost 20 years.
You know what I'm saying? Memories. Let's go down memory lane real quick. Let's one or two of your each. Let's all go down the line. 1 or 2 of each our favorite memories.
I'm gonna always go back to when the first year or whenever I met y'all.
Okay.
Because I met Steph first.
Right.
Steph was like that. I'll tell the story how we met. So Steph and them moved to the city. I don't know. I moved. I think probably the beginning of that school year. So I was fresh to the city, fresh to the school, straight out of LA. And I just, got comfortable with a couple kids, the other little black kid in the class and shit. And then, a couple other kids, and then Steph come in, and I'm like, this nigga walking around this campus, like, this nigga top flight. Like, who is this nigga, fam? Like, why is this nigga walking around here? Like,
but it's just out like that.
Yeah, like, who's this dude, like, with all his confidence walking around this bitch, like, oh, I gotta see you. I'm from LA, so what's up? Like, we either gonna rock or we gonna be enemies. You know what I mean? That's the type of nigga I am. Like, nigga, I like to see how far of how soft you is. Nigga, if you gonna get bullied,
I know. I probably ain't gonna be around you too much.
Yeah, I can't kick it with you because I might be in situations where shit might get real and not be real at the same time.
Right,
you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So we meet, we link up, and then I forgot what I did to Steph, but he was like on some, I'm gonna give you.
Can you
3
like
strikes.
make fun of his name or something like that?
It was something in class. It might have been.
I want to say, when we first got in class together, you knew a couple people at the table, and you was roasting me.
Yeah.
And I was like, Hey, bro.
That's strike one.
That's strike one.
And I looked at everybody. I was like,
and you know,
who the fuck
Steph being the older brother, he used to do that. Like with me and Derek, he'd be like, "All right, Mike, like that's strike one, bro." Whether he was like talking about, "I'm gonna have to beat you up" or "I'm gonna kick you out my room" or whatever, that was his little thing. Like, "All right, bro, that's strike one. 2 more of them, and it's gonna be a different conversation up in here." And so now he outside of the house doing it to somebody that don't know him, and Jesse looked at him like, "Bruh, get up out of here with your strikes, nigga."
Bro, I had the nerve to say that's strike 2.
F
I
you and your
lost my
strikes.
mind. I said, "Who is
We was
this?"
outside of class after that.
That's strike 2.
Yeah, we was outside, and I was like, "Hey, bro, then that's strike 2."
And like every time I turned the corner, I was like, "I'm gonna fuck with this dude." And then so that year had went by. So after, I honestly don't remember. Like you never even got to the strike 3 to see what would happen. I don't remember. Time had went past, and I knew the next school year, Stefan was in my classes again. Like we had 8 classes. 4 was split with Stefan, and the other 4 were split with you, Mike. So I was like, damn, this nigga got the same last name. These niggas brothers. There's 2 of these niggas up on campus. So I'm like, so now I'm giving you a hard time, and that's when you went and told the story, like, hey man, this nigga up in my classes too.
Now it wasn't even like that. Me and you, I don't even remember. Maybe,
but no, Steph had came back.
I don't remember. I don't even remember me and you ever like bucking. I remember just like not really messing with you, just based on what happened the year before. And I remember because Steph was like, bro, we gonna have to jump this nigga. Like this nigga pissing me off. And I don't remember ever seeing you, but he would like mention like how big is this nigga? Like, why we gotta jump? I'm like, what you? I'm with it, but like, why we gotta jump? I'm like, why? I remember asking like, why you can't beat him up yourself? He's like, nah, I just want to hurt this nigga. Like, he just won't stop talking. I'm like, well, all right. And then so like, it never really. I remember he pointed you out like one time or another. Like one, I'm like, oh, okay, like that's we, you know what I'm saying, like. We jump him. That's not gonna be a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm tripping on that. And so the whole year go by. Of course, it never happens. And then the next year, really, I remember really like happened over because like in middle school, basketball is like one of the first seasons. In high school, it's football. It's football season and then basketball season. But in our middle school anyway, basketball season was pretty early in the year, and it bled into the high school basketball season. And I remember like, so it was early in the year and you came out for tryouts, and I remember like, because y'all had a couple classes, y'all had already like had, even though it didn't start out right, y'all had like a little bit of like familiarity. So when you came out to basketball, I remember y'all like walking out being cool and kicking. I remember looking at Steph like, man, I thought you said we was gonna beat this thing up. Like what you hanging out with him for now? And he was like, nah, this nigga cool, man. This nigga cool, man. Don't worry. I'm like, oh,
because I remember in 7th grade too, that's when y'all hit me with the like, hey, you not gonna join the team?
And I was like, I play for the city.
I was like, what? Y'all play for the middle.
Y'all play for Grant.
Y'all play for the school, nigga. I play for the city.
And I was like,
NJB.
what that city team look like?
Y'all would have thrived on that city team though.
Because I remember after we started meeting them, yeah, exactly. Yep.
That was squad. That NJB league was.
That might have changed a whole bunch of shit.
Man, for real.
That might change.
Put y'all on the map for real.
To be honest,
I finally got one. Maybe you can keep marinating on yours. I finally thought of one of the memories I want to tell. The hometown buffet situation when Jesse snorted the sweet and low. Do you remember that? Oh man, that might have been one of your first, or like one of the first handful of times like you came out to eat with us.
Yeah.
And I don't know what we was on, but like you would think we had a few drinks, or you'd have thought we was on something, because we was just
in the food coma,
in there having a ball, fam. Like before we go in there, anytime we went to a buffet, it was like, all right, we gonna have a contest, who can have the most plates, who gonna have the most dessert. Like it's gonna be a whole contest, man. But after we got done eating and we just in there kicking it, Zena in there. I don't think Tyne and Stephen were there, but Zena was there.
And this pops on the other side.
Yeah, on the other side. So like they in like, not on a booth, but they're sitting at like a table. Like of course my mom and dad sitting across from each other. Zena I think sitting next to my mom, and we in a booth like directly across from them, just having a blast, laughing at everything, so much to the point where like the people sitting across from us was like looking at us and kind of looking at my parents like, yo, shut these kids up, man. They ain't here being too loud. This dude Jesse, man, opened the sweet and low, put it on the table like it was some mean. Cut the. I don't even think you did the straw. This dude put his nose to the table and snorted that sweet low, and bro, it just instantly started. Bro, this dude said, started hitting his nose. Oh man, we was on the floor laughing, bro. And that was when the people finally tapped Mom and Dad. Was like, bro, you don't see this? Like
now they tripping.
Shut them up! Like they interrupted our meal over here. Oh man, that was hilarious.
Too much fun.
I'll never forget that. Bro. I was like, this dude Jesse is a wild boy. This dude said he was spitting sugar for like a week.
Damn, that like yeah, it was not good.
Oh, I know what memory. I
know what you was about to say.
Yeah,
Another good catch. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Cameras is rolling.
I know exactly what you was about to say. Another good catch.
I know.
No wonder that boy played receiver.
Yeah,
I know what memory I want to bring. This is right. I don't want to. I think this is right after we got cool. So it was the second year of middle school. It was 8th grade, and then we was always walking to school, and this is when we started walking to your house, and then we would walk to school, the three of us.
Oh, in the mornings?
Yeah. And I remember being so in love with Brandy.
My sister?
Yeah, I was like, Jesse, bro. It's like, that's my older sister, bro. I was like, bro. Like, I couldn't wait to get to your house every morning.
I know. And I thought that was so awkward. I was like, is he only being friends? Like,
Yeah, not at all. Because at first, we were cool, and I didn't even know you had a sister.
I know, until you can't pick me up on
until we came to your house, and she answered the door. I was like...
And because of that, like, I remember the first time...
Sisters, okay.
And I remember the first time you, like, found out or, like, caught wind, or he said, or however... Wow. Or however you found out, it was way louder than it actually was. That was just my ring hitting the table. I remember when you actually like found out, like you didn't like. Of course, you didn't really care because it's not like a big deal. It's like your older sister, the homie got a crush on your older sister, big deal. But I remember like your face was like that's weird. It made me feel weird ever telling you that I always thought Patrice was super pretty. So I was like, bro, he had already said it about. But I remember when I first saw Patrice, I was like, whoa.
My sisters are really beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. My Alicia too. Your mom, everybody. I've always said that, man. Y'all got a really, really good looking family. Really good looking family.
Yeah. I just
so much so that I remember when your dad first came around, he was going through whatever he was going through, or your mom was like, "Yo, he used to look like Jesse. He didn't always look like that."
My dad was funny. You talking about when he took us to Dave and Buster's for my birthday? Yeah, that nigga was he reverted back to the thug life.
Yeah, that was a classic ass
time
too.
Pigtails like hair. I was like, you a pimp? You better go sit down somewhere, G. It's not the nigga I know.
Yeah, I remember being like, bro, no disrespect, but how much older is your sister, bro? Like,
Jesse like, yeah, okay.
I mean, Brandon the one who has something to say to you.
Oh, that's childish shit. Yeah.
That nigga, yeah, you better clean it up.
Person.
That's when I was a kid, man. I'm married now, man.
They don't even look right,
man. So many stories, man.
It don't even look right in here.
Go get the red dude. Where the red dude?
I've already thought about it. If I ever get into it with Brandon, I'm gonna just bring that up and try to chill the situation out.
Should we tell that story, the red dude story, and then get up out of here?
I'm down. If we gonna do it, we gonna have to do it the TJ version.
That's not the same story.
We gotta tie that in. That's the same nigga though.
For that, where we at? Oh, we almost had 2 hours.
We might say that for next time.
Yeah, let's say the red dude story for next week.
The red dude story.
Yeah.
Say the red
that
dude
was a
story.
situation.
That was super Millie.
Yeah, man. Family Room Podcast, episode 50. You know what I'm saying? We took a trip down memory lane. You know what I'm saying? Talked about some good stuff like we always do. Like I said, man, we appreciate everybody who listens, who watches videos, who watches the clips on Instagram. Like I said before, however you consume the podcast, we greatly appreciate it, man. Greatly appreciate it, man. It's Family Room Podcast, episode 50. I'm Mike Roan.
I wanna be like Mike. Pow!
Stefan Roan.
I'm Stefan, sweet thing.
It's Jesse Williams.
Jesse, step away from the box.
Thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We out.
Yeet.